Hey guys, welcome back to my Chanel. And by Chanel, I mean Chanel. Oh, it's nearly flat. I have a little like ring light, but it's flat, so I gotta charge it. Like sits over my phone. I've also got my big ring light. But I was cleaning my beauty room because I have been redoing it because I don't know if I mentioned this in my last video, but I'm back studying part-time to be an eyelash technician. Look at me go. Who would have thought, you know? Who would have thought? So in high school, fun fact for you all, what did I want to be when I grew up? To begin with, I wanted to be a model. You're so vain. I was very full of myself. Still am, but that's okay. It's a confidence is key. So I wanted to be a model, but then slowly realised that I was probably one, way too short and way too lazy to chase my dreams. Okay. And then I wanted to be a flight attendant. And then back then, before all the rules and regulations changed, I was too short. So that blew that out of the water. And then I wanted to be a horticulturist. And I was actually working at the Vines Country Club and Resort in like my final, well, no, not final year. I think it was year 11. Like year 11. And I was like in love with that job. And then they gave it to some other bitch because they were going to give me an apprenticeship and I was going to do it, but then they gave it to someone else and she didn't end up sticking doing it and quit after like 6 months. So I guess that's a shame. Anyway, don't hold a grudge, Stacey. Yeah, no worries. So anyway, and then I kind of like lost my passion for everything because I was like, well, now I don't know what I want to do, and you know, I feel like someone's just gonna screw it up for me if I try and do something again. So lost my passion. Didn't really know what I wanted to do. Kind of always knew I liked playing around with makeup, you know, like any normal girl does. And then it wasn't until like I hit 30 and I like really started like experimenting with it, and I was watching more YouTubes because, you know, social media was, you know, taking off more and all that kind of stuff. And then I thought to myself, yep, no, I'm gonna do it. And so then one day I was like playing around with stuff, and then I saw this course online because it was like, it was going to be great. So it was this course online, Australian accredited company. I don't know what to do with my hair, it's really annoying me. I had it for like 2 days straight. Anyway, not your problem, that's a me problem. So anyway, and I started studying, and I started building my portfolio and my makeup kit, and yeah, and then I graduated a fully qualified makeup artist. So I actually have an accreditation behind me. I'm not just a person that just jumps on and does makeup. I actually went and studied, and I'm not knocking anyone that didn't go and study. Some girls are just amazing at it without even having to have a qualification. But I like to feel like I've achieved something. Like, you know, some people aren't fully qualified and they get like all these amazing backings by all these amazing companies. So they never need to have that qualification to fall back on or anything, or, you know, plus, I don't know, I'm just babbling here. And then I thought, you know, because then COVID hit, and so then like a lot of weddings got cancelled and school balls and all this kind of stuff, which was horrible for so many people. So then a lot of it became like towards the end of my studying, I could only like do it on myself pretty much, which was kind of fun because I like enjoy doing it on myself. My boobs are like really out there, aren't they? Sorry. I'm really freaking hot, and by hot I mean boiling hot temperature wise. Ugh. Welcome to my story of my life. Anyway, let's get down to business. So I was listening to Disney songs yesterday because my sister brought my nephew. My nephew came over. He's 2. He can't come over by himself. Silly. My sister had to bring him over because he was just constantly asking for me and getting upset, which is so cute, but not the point. What was I going to say? I really don't know, to be honest. Where was I? I don't know. But yeah. Oh, that's right. So I was like, you know, I should build on, you know, what I really enjoy in life, because there are like so many people that love lash extensions, because then you don't have to wear mascara all the time. And I was like, you know, I will like look at doing that, because like that's always something I can fall back on again. I can add it to my like list of services that I can, you know, give out to people. So I am currently I've already done one module, so that was good. So I'm just waiting for the new kits to be released, like the new kits that they provide, which comes with like a mannequin head and everything, so you can like learn how to do lashes on it, and before you like start learning on like a human, and then you can like practice on it. So just waiting for that to come, so then I can start doing that. I'm only working part-time now, because your girl can't do nothing these days. I'm absolutely knackered all the time, like all of the time. So why are you bowing? That's weird. I'm gonna turn you upside down. I want to sit flat. I'm talking to my makeup kids like they can hear me. Honestly, I'm looking for a specific one. Just trashing the joint. Okay. Looking for a specific one. Nope, you're not it. Nope, you're not it either. How about you? It's gonna be the bottom one, isn't it? Oh no, maybe this one. What's the bottom one? I don't think it's this one. This is the bottom one, but I'm not going to use that one. I'm probably going to use this one because I wanted to do a blue look, because blue really makes my eyes pop, so I'm going to use the blues. But I want... Oh shit, you fell over. There you go. You're okay. You're okay. There you go. Hold on. I'm using my mirror to like place you. There we go. You're okay. You're okay. Okay. So yeah. I want to do a blue look, but I also want silver. Just clean my brushy brush, because I got all these new Morphe brushes. This is going back a while, mind you, back when I had surgery. I like had to buy myself a get well present. A get better soon present. I think this one has the best silver. This one. So we'll do the base first. Okay. Basey, basey, shake me, shake me. I really sing a lot, don't I? But that's okay. I'm like obsessed with TikTok at the moment. And there's this one sound. And it's like, hello motherfucker, hey, how darn. How darn. Gets me every time. And I really find it enjoyable that my nephew likes to watch like dogs of TikTok or ducks of TikTok. Anything animal, really. He is talking so much. Oh my goodness. I can't even with him at the moment. Hey, he's so freaking cute. Ugh. He says, Stace. Stace. Stace car. Because he loves my car. And I let him sit in the front seat and push all the buttons. Pushes all the buttons. And it doesn't bother me. Yeah, he's very cute. He says so many words these days. I just cannot believe how much he's talking. Like, talking so much. Oh, and he can say his own name. Parker. So cute. Parker. And he has a couple of little girlfriends, which I think is super cute. He also should not be dating because he's just a baby. He's just a baby. But yeah, so anyway. So yeah, I'm working on my physical health, which is proving rather difficult because my back just wants to play silly buggers. I've ended up in hospital in the emergency department a few times. Well, more than a few times since my surgery, which is absolutely bullshit. But I don't have any control over my back anymore. It just does whatever the frickin' hell it wants. So, yeah, there's that. My poor mama bear, she's been sick too. With her tummy. She's got a hernia in her tummy. Like, how unfair is that? Like, how bullshit is that? Us Rockies, oh boy. We don't do things in halves, that's for sure. But anyway. What else is going on in my life? Just trying to think. Not a lot, really. Just been trying to, I guess, function, adult. I think my body is, I don't know, it's either rejecting caffeine or it's rejecting dairy at the moment. I don't know which one. So I kind of like, and I don't do black coffee that much if I can avoid it. But I feel like my body is just rejecting one of the two and it's making life freaking difficult. So I had to like scull my morning coffee. Like, just neck it. Because I think I have a caffeine withdrawal headache. I'm just trying to blend it a little bit so it's not so harsh. Cool. Much better. And just like softly blending. Softly, softly. Killing me softly with his song. Killing me softly. Alright. I'm happy. I'm happy. Happy, 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 happy. Oh, just my happy, happy guy. Or just my happy, happy, happy guy. That is another TikTok song. Okay? I'm not a weirdo. Well, I am a weirdo, but I'm not that much of a weirdo. So yeah. Okay. So anyway. Trying to think of like what else has been going on. Like, is there any drama in my life? I don't really think so. The blend is good. The blend is good. Okay. It's also really hard because I can't sit that close to my mirror. Because y'all are like right there. Okay. So anyway, what else has been going on? What else? Is there any work drama? Am I the drama? I don't think I'm the drama. Not really drama. We've just like lost a couple of people since like the changeover. Some with retirement. Where one of the staff quit, unfortunately. That is a long story, I believe. But I don't think he was happy for a while. So I do believe he is doing good and he's happier and he's gotten a job which is, you know, good hours. He's done by like 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Early start, early finish, which, hey, everybody enjoys an early start, early finish. Why wouldn't you? So yeah, what else has been going on? So a couple of people have been, have started studying at my work. And then we've also got two staff members that are like close contacts with COVID, so they're off at the moment. That's cool. Not. And of course I can't help out too much on the shop floor anymore. I had to on Friday for a bit, just because one of the girls was doing some training for a bit, and the other 2 girls that were on the floor were relatively new and didn't really know much, so I was floating back and forth. But I can tell you this much, that like afternoon and like evening when I went home, oh my goodness, I was so tired. Oh my goodness, I was just like, oh crap. And I've been tired ever since. I really have, honestly. Like, I feel like I just could not. Like, I'm not sleeping the best. I don't sleep the best anyway, but like last night, my hips, oh boy. I don't know if it was like the chop and change in the weather. I think it thunderstormed last night. I think. I kept hearing things, but then again, I also had my fan on because I'm a hot sleeper. So I had my fan on, and I was also listening to something to help me like keep me preoccupied. So like I wasn't trying to think of like the pain that I was in my hips. Not that it helped much. But I think it tried to thunderstorm last night, and I think that's probably why my hips hurt, because my hips and my back will always hurt with the weather. And also because when they did my surgery, they used part of my hip for the bone graft. So one side always hurts more than the other. So yeah, so the surgery, like I kind of said in the last video, but I'll repeat myself. Obviously, it took longer than it should have. Like the original one took longer than it should have. Hang on, these freaking flyaways pissing me off. Okay. So anyway, yeah. So the surgery took longer than it was expected, which, you know, was fine. But it was funny because, well, not funny for my mum and my sister, because they were at the hospital waiting. But the day of my surgery, all those computer systems went down, so they couldn't like tell my mum exactly where I was. And then yeah, so I came up from recovery a bit later than I should have, because I came out of surgery a bit later than I should have. Yeah, so that was a bit unfortunate. I don't really remember like a lot of the first few days, because I was high as a kite. And when I say high, because I got high. Because they give you morphine, ketamine, and something else. Fentanyl. All in the one little thing, and you keep pushing the button. You can push it every 5 minutes. It's great. I mean, it was great, but yeah. I also then ended up breaking out in hives because yeah, it was like way too much for my body. I think it was actually the ketamine. I'm pretty sure it was an allergic reaction to the ketamine. Because, I mean, that is a hell of a drug. And, I mean, people off themselves on that shit. Which is the shocking bit, you know? Like... trying to make it as even as it possibly can, but it's not really working. Yeah, so, have to make my chin look a little bit not fat. Yeah, so there was that, and then what else happened? Oh, I'll tell you this though, because I do remember this. So it was the same night. I think it was the first night. So this young girl, I think she was like maybe 16, 17, maybe at max 18 years old. And she was in having spinal surgery for scoliosis, I believe. Anyway, she was obviously having a little bit of a hard time coming out of the anesthesia. So she was in a bit of pain, but she also wasn't quite sure where she was, etc., etc. And her little boyfriend and her mum were there to see her. And anyway, the mum and the younger sister had, I think, gone to get something. Might have gone to get something to eat or something. And like the boyfriend was like looking at her because she was like all upset and all that, and they're just asking her what her pain's like and that kind of thing, and she was upset, and he was like trying to reassure her that it was going to be okay, and she was just not having a bar of it. And to be honest, I get it when you're that young and you've never had like a major surgery before. I mean, I found the whole thing comical, but whatever. I mean, for me it was comical because what happened next was even funnier. So anyway, he was like, going, oh, it'll be okay, that kind of stuff. And anyway, the nurse that was like taking care of us all, she was like looking at him and she's like, are you right, mate? And he's like, oh, yeah, it's all good. And she's like, no, are you sure? Maybe you should sit down. Next minute, he hits the deck, like just eats shit because he faints. He like absolutely ate it. Right, so of course, instead of it all being about her, she's now got to hit the code button because the boyfriend's just fucking KO'd himself and was like on the floor. So that was even funnier. I'm just like... So all these nurses come running and they're like, what the hell? And then she's like, oh, the boyfriend's passed out. And they're like trying to get him to come do. And then they had to take him down to the emergency department because the poor bugger passed out. So yeah. And then of course her mum and sister come back and they're like, what the frick happened? And yeah. And then of course the nurse had to explain that, he's down in the ED because he couldn't handle jack shit and he fainted. I'm sorry. It's really funny because it wasn't me. But yeah. And I know I'm being mean, I'm being a bully, whatever. Sue me. I don't really care. It was funny. It was funny. It was funny, okay? Just ate shit. I can still remember that. Fuck, it was funny. Honestly, you had to be there. You had to be there. So anyway. Yeah, so that was like one of the things. So there's like, there was 4 of us. This is the first time. There was 4 of us in a room. There was an older woman. She was like in her 50s and she had a couple of drains in her back. So I'm not exactly sure, but she was waiting for a bed at Fiona Stanley. But obviously they couldn't transfer her until they had a bed over there ready. But of course, Fiona Stanley is notorious for not having beds ready, like, ever. so she couldn't get transferred. So she was actually still there when I left 5 days later. And then in the corner, so there was the young girl next to me, she was across from me. And then in the other corner was this a young Muslim girl. She had, turns out she was at uni and she slipped and fell down a couple of stairs. She fractured her back. Like, she fractured her back. It was insane. And so she had to like lay flat on her back. She wasn't allowed to move or anything. It was actually really sad. She had to be fitted for a brace. And like when she was fitted for the brace, the person that does the brace is a guy. And he was so lovely about it. They had like a couple of female nurses standing there, and he would just ask permission if it was okay to like touch her and, you know, show her how the brace fits and all that. And because he was so good about it, she didn't have an issue with it. She was like, yeah, that's fine. No worries. Yeah, so she had to be fitted with a brace. But it was actually quite sad. Because, you know, she literally fractured her back. Like, it's fucked. But they didn't want to do surgery. She didn't want to do surgery. She wanted to see if they could correct it, like, doing it that way, which the doctors were quite, you know, hopeful that they could. They were like, you know, we're pretty sure we can do this. It'll be fine. So she was just going to have to be in a brace for, like, 6 weeks. And, like, even in the shower. You have to wear the fucking thing in the shower. That would honestly shit me off. Like, if they turned around to me now and was like, Stacey, we've got to put you in a brace. Oh, you would never hear the end of it. I would be so pissed. I do not like being restricted. And I would just be so mad. So mad. The glow up is real, my people. The glow up is real. You guys know I love my hot water. And I just want to go home. Plus I'm sitting in the office, so I'm a lot cooler, so I'm not going to sweat all my makeup off, which is great. Next is the eyebrows. Oh, eyebrows. Gonna make them snitched. So anyway. Yeah, so, but she was really lovely. She was really sweet. Yeah, so anyway, then it got to like day 5 of being in the hospital, and still to this day my sister's like, they took your drain out way too soon, which they did. They literally took it out the next day. Was it the next day? Yeah, no, I think it was. They took my drain out like next day, and then like my sister had come up to see me, or it was day 3. Honestly, could have been like 2 days post surgery. 2 days post, but like technically like day number 3. So anyway, my sister, she'd come up to see me, and she like noticed the hives and that, and of course I had noticed the hives. They were on me, but my dumbass was too fucking high to say anything. So yeah, she was like, she's covered in hives, and they're like, oh shit. So they got me like some antihistamines, like really strong antihistamines. And don't get me wrong, it went down after a couple of days and it was fine. And of course they like to wean you off all your medication before you go home. But yeah, it was fine. And I remember, I think it was day number, was it the day after surgery? Might have been day after surgery. They take you down for an x-ray. Or it was 2 days post-op. Either way, they took me down, right? And so they like wheel you down in your bed. And it was funny, the whole way down there, the girls are like, press your button. So they're pressing my button for me, mind you, right? Like, press your button, because we got to get you to stand up. Press your button. And this button is getting me high. Anyway, get down there, and then like just before they go to stand me up, the girls are like, the x-ray tech, she's like, press the button. She presses the button. So I'm trying to stand there and I'm like, floating. It's probably why they do it, but anyway. And then like, they teach you how to like roll out of bed. So you don't like hurt yourself. Or like, damage any of your back, which is fine. So they, they teach you how to get out of bed, and so the physio people come down, and on like the second day or something, that the day after, and they teach you to roll over, which they did. I'm like, oh yeah, roll over, cool. And then day 3, they get you to go for a walk, which they did. I went for a walk. And then I think day 3 for me was when they were like, all right, because I had enough of having a catheter in. It was all right for the first couple of days, and also the things that, like the pressure cuffs that they put on your legs, I kept kicking them off. I was like, no, I do not like these bastard things. And like the nurses would come in my sleep and put them back on, and then I would like kick them back off and like tear them off in my sleep. And they're like, Stacey, stop it. And I'm like, I don't like the fucking stupid things. And it was the same for the second time around for the surgery. I was like, no, can you take these stupid things off my legs? I do not like them. Which pretty much within 12 hours they were like, yeah, you're moving, you're fine, we'll take them off. So that was handy. But yeah, like, then it was like day 5, and which I'm pretty sure ended up being a Monday. And they said, do you want to go home? And I'm like, hell yeah, I want to go home. I don't want to be in this freaking hole any more than I have to. I hate hospitals. Hate them. I don't want to be in there any more than I have to. I don't think any human wants to be in there any more than they have to. Like, silly question, lady. So yeah, anyway, took a fair chunk of the day, but I was finally discharged and able to go home. Went home. It was nice. I was home for almost 2 weeks. Before my scar popped open at the top originally, and then down the bottom. And I was told to go back up to Royal Perth, because they're like, no, that is not good. They got in, because I don't know who they spoke to someone, and they're like, nah, she's got to come back up. So Mum took me back up. COVID was just running, honestly, it was not as bad as what it is this time. But this was like our first ever like spike. So they were like, they put us in a lockdown. So Mum could drop me off. But she couldn't like come inside apart from like just into emergency. That was about it. She had to just drop me off and go. Thankfully she could bring me some stuff up later, which was good because I didn't have anything on me. But basically I got admitted within like 2 hours of rocking up there. So yeah, I got admitted, and then I got taken up to an ward. Taken up to a ward, and then that was like that night. And then Mum dropped some stuff off, so at least like I had some clothes and a phone charger and a toothbrush and stuff. And then the surgeons came up the next day and were like, yeah, we'll open you back up, figure out what's going on, fix your stitches, because it was like 2 lots of internal stitches and then like dissolvable on the outside, so they ended up having to fully stitch me up. So they did what they call a debridement, which is like basically it's a washout. So they open you up and they wash you out, get rid of anything that's like, gross on the inside. They also do swabs. They take swabs. So they took a whole bunch of swabs, which is where like 2 days later, because doctors don't work weekends, 2 days later one of the surgeons comes back, and he was like the loveliest guy, still is the loveliest guy. He's actually a Jewish gentleman. And he came back, and I was like, oh, seeing you on a Saturday, this can't be good. And he was like, no. He goes, I got the page. He goes, you've got a staph infection. Oh, well, no, we didn't know what type of infection. He goes, you've got an infection. He goes, and we're going to stick you on some antibiotics. He goes, so we'll put it in through, like, intravenously. So they started using a drug called vancomycin. And that was a bizarre feeling. Like, it made me really hot the entire time, like, it was being done. So that was weird. And then it was the Monday? Yeah, because that was a Saturday. So Saturday, Sunday, I had to have like 2 lots of the vancomycin. There was some in the morning and some in the evening. And it was like 2 hours each thing. So thankfully the one at night, they could put it in while I was like, they could put it on while I was sleeping. Although if I slept the wrong way, it would like set the thing off and stop working. And they kept, one night I was just so restless, they kept having to come wake me up, and they're like, Stace, you know, you got to move your arm, hun. So that was crappy. But then what they decided, so then the Monday, this really nice guy, he was an infectious diseases doctor. Nice close-up of my face there. So yeah, he comes in and he's like, I'm one of the doctors. He goes, I wanted to talk to you about your infection. He goes, I wanted to like fill you in, everything kind of stuff. And I was like, oh, okay. So, and he's like, oh, I can stop. Because I was getting upset because I was like, did I do this to myself? And he was like, oh, no, you did not. He goes, it is just something that was living in your skin. He goes, it just got triggered and went straight down to all the pretty new metalwork and set up camp. He's like, it's not your fault. It was something that was living in your skin. He goes, they would have found it a lot later if my scar hadn't actually popped open, or wound, or whatever you want to call it. He goes, we would have found it a lot later. He goes, so it's kind of a blessing in disguise that it did pop open because they found it a lot sooner. But basically, if they hadn't have found it, there is a very high chance I could have gone septic very quickly and I could have died. That's how serious it was. So, blessing in disguise, but yeah, I was in there for like 10, almost 11 days the second time round. So they put a PICC line in, which is like a little thing so they inject a little tube into your vein that comes up and across and near your heart, so it like can pump the medicine around a lot quicker. And it meant I could go home a lot sooner, which was really good, which is what I wanted. I wanted to go home so desperately. I spent like the last 4 days just like crying, like intermittently crying, because I did not want to stay in there. I was just so done. Just so done with being in there. Wow, that is pink. Yeah, that's way too pink. We're not going for the candy look, are we? No, we're not. Which one's this one? Gloss. Yeah, that's gloss. We don't want gloss. Ooh, do I go pink? Oh no, because I'm wearing blue, so I've kind of got to go like a neutral colour. None of those are neutral. Where's my neutral colour? I could go red. Oh, I could go red, but I'm not going to. I might go neutral. Because I've gone and done such a dark look. But where? Oh, that's eyebrows too. Where's my lip liner? Where's my lip liner? Maybe in this one. there it is. So yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, there's nothing that I can do about this infection. You know? It is what it is. So, just gotta have faith in the doctors that they can, you know, get me to that year mark, and that, you know, the infection's gonna be, like, gone. But I don't know what the surgeons are gonna say about the fact that my spine is bent. Because, you know, that's never freaking good. I don't know. We'll see. Just keep myself out of trouble. And out of the hospital would be good. Oh, hello, pretty girl. I love me. Right, now. I love me. That's so fucking conceited. Jesus Christ, Stacey. What are you doing? You are an idiot. But you know what? They say you have to love yourself before you can let others love you. Which I think is pretty true. Like, when you think about it, you need to, like, love you before you can let someone else love you. Hey, and for everything that I've been through, I'm a tough cookie. Very tough cookie. Well, I don't know why that's playing silly buggers for. There we go. Oh, and of course I take off some of the silver. Of course I do. Why? Why can't I be any different, you know? Get a little brush. A little brush. Tiny little brush. Brush it back in. And then we do a little bit of white glitter on the inner corners. Very pretty, like my doll cheerleader. Okay. Setting spray. I like to really set my face. Headband? No headband. Headband? No headband. 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 And I may just quickly plait my hair and twist it. I have such thick hair, it's ridiculous. So much hair. So much hair. Oh shit. Smack myself in the head. That's a good one, Stacey. Hang on a sec. Let me get me hair clips. Ooh, shivers. I can just. mess. I know. Oh, it's undone itself anyway. I just cannot be bothered at this point. I'll just twist it. It's because the end is so thick. But the end of my hair. Oh my goodness. Ow! I just want a bun. I just want a bun. Just stay. Stay where I put you. Oh yeah. She'll be right, mate. Bunch of hair clips to hold her in. And a bit of hairspray. She'll be right. There we go. That'll do. Hello. Alright, I'm done. Okay. So that's me done. Hope you enjoyed. Yeah, let me put my face near some light. Oh! Anyway, hope you enjoyed today's video. Don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Subscribe, like, comment, share, whatever. And yeah, I'll probably see you next week because I've got more time on my hands to make videos when I haven't slept. Anyway, have a good day, guys.